If I can see it, I can achieve it.
Hello, Just Like Me book fans. This is Michelle and I am here and we have a special treat today. I have an author, another independent author like myself, Stacie Sullivan-Simon, here to talk about her book, I Am Me and You Are You. So let's give her a big YouTube welcome. We can't really hear you, just say hi. Hi everybody.
Hi everybody.
Well, hi Stacie, thank you so much for joining us.
Hi Michelle, how are you doing?
I am doing well. I'm so glad we could figure this out and you could come in and we could talk about your book. So, you being by trade a nurse, a registered nurse?
Yes, so I'm a registered nurse. I'm a RN, clinical informatics analyst.
So how in the world did you end up writing a book?
So, my daughter, well, it was last summer, and my daughter, who is now 13, she was 12 at the time, I was trying to get her to become more of an entrepreneur. She can illustrate really well, and so I suggested that she writes a book and illustrates it on her own, or to do a mommy and daughter book.
Okay.
So, 6 months later, we still hadn't written anything. So it was one weekend in February, and it was I had some time, and I said, let's sit down right now. Let's just do it. And her response was, Mom, that's not my dream. So I'm like, oh, okay. So my little 4-year-old looked up at me and said, Mommy, I'll write a book with you. And I said, okay.
That is so sweet.
So yeah, so I sat down being silly, got my Word document out on my computer and just started writing, just trying to rhyme, because I love Dr. Seuss books. I've always read to my children in these crazy voices, like for the characters. And so I ended up with a book called Oh No Mason, That Can't Be True. Next step, I'm like, okay, what should I do? I started researching on the internet, publishing companies, and I came across 3. I submitted the manuscript, and I ended up getting ready to do a contract for Oh No Mason. And the very next weekend, ideas started flowing in my head. And so I opened up my Word document and I just started writing, and this book resulted. Okay. So, I still hadn't signed the contract for Oh No Mason, and I'm all excited. I send the manuscript to the publisher that I'm working the contract with, and she contacts me by email, and she's like, Stacie, we gotta talk. And I'm like, uh-oh, did I do something wrong? Maybe I was supposed to wait and finish this contract out instead of shooting manuscripts to her. So long story short, she said that she wanted the I Am Me book. She had to have this book first. She recommended that we do this book first because this book is needed in the world right now. It will provide a platform for me to become known, my work.
Awesome. Well, tell us about the book. This book here that kicked Mason to the curb. Tell us about tell us about this book here.
The title of my book is I Am Me and You Are You. This is a children's book about racism and bullying. It targets children's age pre-K to 4th, around 6th grade. It has a simple but profound message to treat others as you would like to be treated. It just goes through the daily life of a little boy who wakes up in the morning, jumps out of bed, just like others do, but it just states that why treat me different because I have a different skin color. I go to the potty like you, I brush my teeth and wash my face. So yeah, and it also has a portion in the book that talks about bullying, where you can see another little boy the group of kids who are bullying, and he's thinking, and he actually switches and puts himself in the other kid's shoes and thinks, how would I feel if they did me like that? So, to help kids like think about, what they're doing to other children when they bully or treat them differently.
So if you had to take, obviously, the message of self-love, but two things you want your readers to take away from I Am Me, You Are You, what would you want them to take away from your book?
So basically, I want readers to take away not to make snap judgments about people based on how they look. It's easy to, look at a person's outer appearance, and because it doesn't look like you, to mistreat them or to assume that they're stupid or, they're poor or what have you. We need to make judgments after we see a person's character, what's in their heart. Another thing to take away from the book is self-love. It teaches kids to, that they're beautiful too. Even though their complexion is darker, they may have curlier hair, what have you. It teaches them that I'm beautiful too.
Okay. Well, I think that's a beautiful message, and one that in the world that we're living in today is sorely missing.
Definitely.
So I see the importance of the book. I understand why you wrote the book. Now, you definitely wrote the Mason book first.
I did.
Do you have any plans to follow up this book with this message? Is this a standalone book? Are you trying to craft a body of work?
I am looking to create some other stories around real life or world events, gun violence for children, molestation, drugs, etc.
Difficult topics for children to talk, for children to talk about, but topics that need to be talked about. Yeah, I completely understand. Well, before we get out of here, tell us where our viewers can find a copy of your book.
So it is on Amazon. You can find it on Amazon. You can also find it on Barnes and Nobles.
Okay.
The title is I Am Me and You Are You. You can also, if you're local here in Cleveland, you can get an autographed copy directly from me if you email me at booksbystacie@gmail.com.
Awesome. Well, I will make sure I put that in the discussion, it's the comment section underneath after when the video goes up. Well, I thank you so much for coming out today and having a conversation with us. Thank you guys for tuning in to hear about another local author like myself. And look out for her book on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. And remember, if I can see it, I can achieve it.
If I can see it, I can achieve it.